Trickery. If you're not paying attention, you will be tricked. So, for this episode, I'm going to talk about voting. So I think people sometimes forget the main purpose of voting is to show your support for a particular individual or party or whatever. It's not about the act of voting, right? And so I bring that up because a lot of times during election year, you always have this thing where everybody's telling you, did you vote? Did you vote? Who did you vote for? You have to vote if you want to see a change. And on and on and on and on, right? So what happens is you end up with a lot of people just voting for the quote-unquote lesser evil. There's a problem with that, right? Because the point is, if you don't support a particular candidate, then you don't vote for them. If you happen to be in a two-party system and you don't support either one of the candidates, the correct thing to do is not to vote. The wrong thing to do is to vote for the lesser evil. And here's why. When you give your vote to the lesser evil, the fact that you disagree with them, that fact is lost on the record. There's no record of disagreement because a vote is a vote of support. It's not a vote for lesser evil. However, if you don't vote, then when it's time to tally up how many people actually voted for a particular candidate, then the record will show that yes, candidate A did win, but very few people actually voted. So therefore, that candidate may have a hard time trying to claim that there's a mandate by the people, simply by the fact that they've won. Even if they won in a landslide. If you have a situation where you only have 10 people that are going to vote in an election, and you have two individuals that are running, turns out that 3 people actually voted out of the 10. So the other person has 2, and the other person has only 1. So they've won by getting twice of the amount of vote. But the very fact that only 3 people voted out of the 10 shows that there's a lot of disagreement. The matter of fact, I just thought about this. That's the very reason why at places like the United Nations, you have an option where members can abstain, right? So abstain puts on the record that I don't agree with this, but I'm not necessarily against it, but it definitely goes on the record. So therefore, the person proposing whatever mandate or resolution they want, it will show that a certain amount of people, while they didn't vote against the resolution, they certainly didn't vote for it. And that's the important part. Don't ever just give your vote to the lesser evil. If you don't agree with all parties that are in the contest, simply don't vote, which is the equivalence of abstaining. And that's the real way to voice your opinion, because that goes on the record, the number of people voted. So that's it for now for this episode of Trickery.